Welcome to Discrimination, Retaliation, Fraud, and Racketeering, episode number 5, part 1. Today's episode will be focused on a Dr. Blake Perry who was involved in illegally changing my chart notes, and he was committing insurance fraud under my name. Today's date is 6/29/2020. The Department of Health sent me a letter that talked about how Dr. Blake Perry committed no violations, but Dr. Blake Perry committed the following. Dr. Blake Perry committed perjury to the Judge Jan Barnett under oath by saying that his software put a line through the chart notes when it didn't. When the manager illegally changed my chart notes, Andrea Barbano illegally changed my chart notes. Dr. Blake Perry got caught using illegal software. Dr. Blake Perry, his manager, Andrea Barbano, and the secretaries were all involved in illegally changing my notes and frauding insurance companies to get me thrown in jail, and so I'd lose my dental hygiene license. Dr. Blake Perry and his staff were involved in changing billing codes to commit insurance fraud and forgery under my name to get me thrown in jail. Dr. Blake Perry gets approximately 9 violations from the Labor and Industries, even when they threw away the paperwork to give him more time and hope that he wouldn't get investigated. Since Dr. Blake Perry got caught using illegal software, it is possible that the Labor and Industries is also running illegal software. And we're going to go ahead and give you a preview of all the fraud, racketeering, discrimination, retaliation that I've been through. And then we'll, after the preview of the college fraud and stuff, then we'll get right into more about the healthcare fraud and how it all connects. So, I currently, today, do not have my Bachelor's of Applied Science and Dental Hygiene degree that I earned, and Sherry Pedruzny, the Yakima Valley College teacher and program coordinator, is refusing to give this to me. Sherry Pedruzny ordered Wenatchee Valley College Leslie Lampkin to engage in fraud and steal out my assignment requirements, and the entire college is trying to cover it up. Leslie Lampkin illegally removed my summary number 1 assignment that consisted of 2 summary assignments and replaced my summaries with 2 additional non-required gun essays that were used to abuse me. He failed to install my library packet, and he made misrepresentations on my final 2 research papers or expanded essays to make them look like regular essays, so Sherry Pedruzny could downplay and act like I didn't do a true research paper and deny my Bachelor's of Applied Science and Dental Hygiene degree. I have emails where Sherry Pedruzny admitted English 203 was the last college coursework to get my degree. The Yakima Valley College is trying to cover up the fraud. Washington State Board of Community and Technical Colleges with Director of Transfer Education Joyce Hammer is trying to cover up the fraud. Mansfield School District in Washington State and Leslie Lampkin are most likely cheating the children because I have a public record evidence proving many children are failing and they have missing assignments just like me, and Leslie Lampkin's refusing to fix the fraud that I caught him doing, so I am sure he is frauding the children. Leslie Lampkin, the English 203 research teacher at Wenatchee Valley College, and Sherry Pedruzny, the Yakima Valley College dental hygiene teacher and program coordinator, created an answer to my federal court lawsuit with answering everything exactly the same when they work at 2 completely different colleges approximately 2 hours away, which could only be possible in organized crime and racketeering cases. That is why Leslie Lampkin makes the statement about how nobody is going to dig back into the course assignments to make sure I completed all the work listed in the syllabus, but really he knows Sherry Pedruzny was going to look, and that is why I don't have my Bachelor's of Applied Science and Dental Hygiene degree. My attorney David O. and David O. Defense Firm broke the contract for my federal court lawsuit and stole $10,000 from me because he was either intimidated and threatened and or bribed by the clerks Pam Howard, Angela Knoll, Debbie Brazel, the biased Judge Salvador Mendoza Jr. at the Washington State Eastern District of Washington Federal Court, and Attorney General Bob Ferguson and Assistant Attorney General Derek Taylor all don't care about the students, the children, as well as the healthcare fraud. The Attorney General Bob Ferguson and Assistant Attorney General Derek Taylor are using all of the taxpayer dollars to assist criminals such as Sherry Pedrusny, the Yakima Valley College Dental Hygiene Program Coordinator and Teacher, and Leslie Lampkin, the Wenatchee Valley College English 203 Research Teacher, to help assist them in this federal court case. So I want to also tell you that Debbie Brazel, the clerk, was using intimidation and threatening tactics on me. Pam Howard told me how she was going to incinerate my evidence and about how my evidence was not evidence. So at the Washington State Eastern District of Washington Federal Court, it's possible they're using illegal software to delete out my evidence, and then Pam Howard was going to destroy the hard copies of the evidence that I provided. My court case was put in the wrong venue of Richland on purpose instead of Yakima, where I filed all the paperwork, so they could have the corrupt, biased Judge Salvador Mendoza Jr., and you're also going to find out about how my attorney David O. has broken a previous contract with me in regards to the Dr. Blake Perry case, so maybe he was threatened and or bribed in that situation also. I care about the safety of the American people, the dental hygienists, the healthcare professionals in general, students, and children. I believe the colleges, unemployment, labor and industries, Office for Civil Rights, Department of Health, Washington State Board for Community and Technical Colleges, and many others may be running illegal software because Dr. Perry is, and it's looking a lot like the colleges are and many others are. So at the end of this video, I just wanted to remind you to please spread my evidence albums, anything related to the videos, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So let's go ahead and take you through a few of the criminals here. So there is Dr. Blake Perry, and I'm going to be showing you a hearing in regards to him. There is Joey Walter, the dean at Wenatchee Valley College, and he's involved. There is Dr. Lori Keller, the dean, one of the deans at Wenatchee Valley College. There's Bob Ferguson, the Attorney General. There's Sherry Pedrusny, the Yakima Valley College Dental Hygiene Instructor and Program Coordinator. There's Andrea Barbano, the manager at Dr. Blake Perry's office. There's Jennifer Elliott, who was one of the secretaries, and it looks like insurance coordinator. We got Regan Bellamy, the HR director, right there at Wenatchee. Dr. Chio Flores, the Wenatchee College vice president. There's the president at Wenatchee College. And there are a few others. There's the biased Judge Salvador Mendoza Jr., Carly Schiffner, of another vice president at Wenatchee Valley College, and the director of transfer education at the Washington State Board of Community and Technical Colleges, Joyce Hammer. There's Leslie Lampkin, the English 203 research teacher, and he works at Mansfield, and he's probably cheating the kids at Mansfield School District in Washington State. And there you go. And we'll start with Blake Perry and his hearing now. So I'm going to go ahead and set this over here. And we'll start playing the proof evidence of what I'm talking about.
Good morning, this is Judge Jan Barnett. Is the claimant Dayvin Knemeyer on the line?
And I'm Dayvin Knemeyer, of
Yes,
course.
I am, Your Honor.
Hi, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes.
Mr. Knemeyer, I need to confirm your mailing address. I have 3491 Marlette Place in Malaga, Washington. Is that correct?
Yes, that is.
And Mr. Knemeyer, do you have any witnesses who might be testifying on your behalf today?
No. I just have an advocate.
Oh, who do you have present?
My mother,
And what's her name?
Yvonne Knemeyer.
Now, is Ms. Knemeyer going to be taking the lead in this matter, or is she just available for emotional support for you?
She's just here, just for emotional support and just and is an expert witness
How is
to
she,
medical knowledge.
how is she an expert witness?
She's a nurse, and so she knows about chart notes and legal documents.
Is Ms. Knemeyer a nurse in the dental field or in the medical field?
Medical field.
Okay.
It's actually Arnce Knemeyer, right? It was because she's remarried, and it's Arnce.
Yvonne Arnby Knemeyer, is that it?
Knemeyer Arnce. So it's Arnce is for the last name.
Oh, I see. Okay, Knemeyer Arnce.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is there anybody on the line on behalf of the employer, Blake J. Perry, EDSP, LLC?
This is Dr. Perry.
Hi, Dr. Perry. I need to confirm your mailing address. I have 2017 Continental Place, Suite 9 in Mount Vernon. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Dr. Perry, do you have any witnesses who might testify on behalf of the employer today?
I can.
Okay, but for now it's just you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'd like the parties and the witnesses on the line to please come to order. I've turned on a digital recorder, and these proceedings are being recorded. Any exhibits that are admitted during the course of these proceedings, plus that audio recording, are going to serve as the official record in the event that any party will appeal from the order that issues as a result of today's proceedings. Please listen carefully while I identify the parties that are present and the issues to be presented today, as well as the procedure that we will follow during the hearing. My name is Jan Barnett. I'm an administrative law judge sitting in Spokane Valley, Washington. I'm with the Office of Administrative Hearings, which is an agency that is separate from and independent of the Employment Security Department. I'm not bound by the findings or the determination of the department. Today is September the 23rd of 2016. The time is approximately 10:06 a.m. Pacific Time. This matter is docket number 004063. The claimant is Dayvin Knemeyer, who is appearing today by telephone. A potential witness on behalf of the claimant is his mother, Yvonne Knemeyer Arnce. The employer is Blake J. Perry, BDS, PLLC, who is represented today by Dr. Perry. Dr. Perry is appearing by telephone. In this case, the department issued a determination dated August 20 of 2016, which granted unemployment benefits to the claimant. The employer appealed from that determination on August 30th of 2016, and that appeal does appear to be timely. These are the issues that are raised today. First is the general availability of the claimant to return to work full-time for the weeks that he's been applying for unemployment benefits. Secondly is whether the claimant is entitled to unemployment benefits as a result of his job separation from the employer. This is the procedure that we're going to follow today. I'm going to administer an oath to the parties and the witnesses, and then I'm going to review the exhibits with the parties. These exhibits should have been received prior to today's hearing, and then I'm going to move to the testimony. First, I'm going to ask Mr. Knemeyer some questions about his general availability to return to work full-time for the week that he's been applying for unemployment benefits. At that point, Dr. Perry, you are permitted to introduce any evidence or ask any questions of Mr. Knemeyer about his general availability to return to work for the weeks that he's been applying for unemployment benefits. This is a voluntary quit situation, so I'm going to then turn the testimony over to Mr. Knemeyer to explain the circumstances surrounding his quit from his employment. And after Mr. Knemeyer is done with his testimony and his evidence, then Dr. Perry, I'll turn the floor over to you, and you're permitted at that time to present any evidence that you have surrounding the claimant's separation from his employment. I want to assure the parties that they have every opportunity to introduce any testimony that they believe is relevant in making my determination. They have the opportunity to present any witnesses that they feel are relevant, to that determination. They also have the opportunity to provide any documents that are relevant. At the close of the testimony, I'll ask the parties if they would like to give me a brief closing statement as to the reasons why they think my determination should be in their favor. The parties are not required to give a closing statement, but they're entitled to take that opportunity if they'd like. After those closing statements, then I'll close the record and we'll adjourn the proceedings, and my decision will issue within 5 to 7 business days. If any party wishes to appeal from that determination, the way to do so will be set forth in that written decision itself, and please be aware that there is a strict 30-day time limit to file the appeal if that's what the party wishes to do. Does anybody have any questions about what I've just explained? Mr. Knemeyer, do you have any questions?
Yeah, at what point do I get to cross-examine the witnesses, Your Honor?
You'll have an opportunity after Dr. Perry testifies. You'll be able to ask any questions of Dr. Perry that you need to. And you'll also have an opportunity to respond to what Dr. Perry testifies to. So you'll have the chance to do that. I'll offer that opportunity to you when the time arises. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Dr. Perry, do you have any questions?
No.
I'll ask the parties and Ms. Knemeyer-Arnsey to please raise your right hand. I'll administer an oath, and my right hand is raised as well. All testimony today will be given under oath and subject to prosecution for perjury under the laws of the state of Washington. Do you swear and affirm that the testimony you give today at this hearing will be true to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief, Mr. Knemeyer?
Yes.
And Ms. Knemeyer-Arnsey, do you swear?
I do, Your Honor.
And Dr. Perry?
I do.
Okay. There's been a sizable number of exhibits that had
The pages that the unemployment wrote up, I sent some documents to you about that, how I quit that job, and they tried to make it sound as if I was trying to say I was discharged or fired in that job.
Mr. Knemeyer, are you speaking?
That's a spot where unemployment, you can tell them till they're blue in the face that you quit because of illegal activity. They're still going to try to write it up that you were fired. They're trying to commit fraud. That's just the way they do things. So I'm kind of skipping around here to show you some of the important stuff. I'm going to try to get the whole hearing up for you, and you'll be able to listen to the whole thing. But I'm trying to dissect it down for you. So let's see right there.
My chart notes were being changed without my consent. The doctor made verbal promises to pay me health care, holiday pay, and paid time off after 1 year of employment. The main reason that I quit my job, Your Honor, was because my license was in jeopardy. My chart notes were being changed without my consent. The doctor made verbal promises to pay me health care, holiday pay, and paid time off after 1 year of employment. I wasn't able to sign a handbook until after 9 months of being there. My 6 days paid time off was taken from me. I was told by the manager to sign in under Katie's name for over a year because the doctor did not allow access to do the chart notes under my own name, and then all of a sudden this changed. I feel retaliation from coworkers because I don't feel comfortable if they want to charge out procedures I didn't do. Worked there for over a year and was not provided WSHA, OSHA infection control update, which is required that the employers provide this as to the employees as a standard of care, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Knemeyer, I understand you just stated a lot. The reason you were granted unemployment benefits for the reason that there were illegal activities that were occurring on the work site. So that's the issue I'd like to focus on today. So can you tell me some more about the illegal activities that you claim were occurring on the work site that caused you to quit your job?
Yes, Your Honor. There was changes in my chart notes. So the manager had changed my chart notes, Your Honor, and she did this illegally, and so there's that. The procedures were getting charged out wrong, and there's changes in billing codes that I was complaining about, and there was just procedures in general, not even relating to me, that were getting charged out, and they weren't performed on the patients, Your Honor. I also, Your Honor, have some questions too for the doctor about the x-rays that he submitted.
So that was me explaining about some of the illegal activity that was going on. Now I'm going to give it to where Dr. Perry was talking about, if it was illegally changed like he did it, and he didn't put a strike through it, then that'd be something nefarious or evil. So obviously he had evil intent. You'll find out when he gets caught lying. But I'm just going to prove it to you. He says there is no... His software automatically puts a strike through it, and it clearly did not. So...
Initials there. You make sure the record is complete as to why the change was necessary, and there's no covering up. That's the way it's supposed to be done, right?
Yeah, but they were deleting out my information, Your Honor, that I had, so no one could see what I had wrote.
That's incorrect, Your Honor. The software automatically makes an electronic line, but Mr. Knemeyer doesn't know that, and so nothing is hidden because it's done automatically. He thinks it is nefarious when it's not.
Okay. So, Mr. Knemeyer, you understand that your notations were being obliterated or erased, correct?
Yes, but they were not.
Okay.
They were not present on the chart notes, Your Honor. They were taken out, and then they were filled out, and the doctor had ordered the child prophy, and I did what the doctor ordered, and then if he decided he wanted to change it, he should have presented me with the necessary and said that all the permanent teeth were there, but he never said all the permanent teeth were there because they were not there, Your Honor.
Okay, and this next one's going to be a little bit more about the other fraud. The doctor, even though the manager illegally changed my chart notes, and they charged out adult prophies when I did child prophies. The other hygienist did a child prophy, but they charged out an adult on her, but they didn't change her chart notes. So I'm just kind of giving you some of the testimony. There'll be more evidence on other episodes of all this stuff and how it all ties together. But let's go ahead.
But I mean, the way I understand your testimony, Mr. Knemeyer, I mean, it wasn't just the child versus the adult procedures that were being billed out, but it was crowns that were being billed out which weren't actually performed. I mean, this is much more than just cleaning child's teeth versus cleaning adult's teeth. Is that right?
Yes, it is. It's much more. I do feel that also, I know for a fact that that there was triplets, Your Honor, and the other hygienist, she seen one of the triplets, and she had in her note that was a child prophy, Your Honor, a child prophy. And then they billed out adult prophies on all three of them, Your Honor. So there was fraud going on, regardless of any way you look at the situation, because they should have done what they did to my notes or whatever you want to say, but I think it was illegally done. There were triplets. They all three should have been were on the, the same order. And that's what we've always done with child. And if anything was different, then why wasn't her notes changed, or why wasn't hers, charged out differently? They were all charged out as adults, Your Honor.
Your Honor, do you mind if I give my testimony? So that his accusations are just basically incorrect. And in terms of the adult versus child trophy, this is what I'm getting from written in with.
Sorry, this is 1:10. Why is it? This is here.
Is set up. If a revision is made and then copies of the chart notes are requested or printed, it will have a line through and the date that revision was made. So that his accusations are just basically incorrect.
So right there, he's saying that it had a line through it. Now we're going to go to where he lies and gets caught by the judge. And his manager tells how she illegally changed my notes. Andrea Barbano. So I got to get to the right spot here. Okay. Okay. I think it'll be about right here.
This is Andrea.
Hello, Andrea. My name is Judge Jan Barnett. I am an administrative law judge, and we're holding this hearing involving a former employee, Dayvin. I'm sorry. I mispronounced that. Dayvin Knemeyer. And I'm sure you know the nature of this proceeding, but a question has come up about a certain statement that may have been attributed to you, and I wonder if you can confirm or deny this. But
Sure.
I understand that there's a question as to what the office policy is in terms of charging out patients of a certain chronological age. Is it true that patients that are 12 years old or older are charged out as adults?
It goes by what fee they have existing for the insurance.
Okay.
I never said the word office policy there.
Okay. So what exactly is the policy in terms of charging out patients as adults or children?
If they have all their adult teeth or not.
Okay. And before you just told me this, Andrea, what is your last name?
Barbano.
Can you spell that for me?
Barbano.
And you know what? Can you raise your right hand? I'll put you under oath real quick. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. You're fine.
Okay. Do you swear and affirm that the testimony that you are giving today is true to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
That's correct.
Thank you. What is the policy? If the patients have all adult dentition, then they are charged out as adults?
Correct.
Okay. And just before right now, did you have an opportunity to speak with Dr. Perry about what you just told me?
No.
Did Dr. Perry address with you the statement that Mr. Knemeyer had made about being told that patients over 12 are charged out as adults?
You mean just like right now?
Yeah.
Did him and I have a conversation? No, he just told me to come off the phone.
Okay. Did you know what I was going to ask you before you got to the phone?
No.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Knemeyer, do you have any questions you want to ask Ms. Barbano before I let her get back to work?
A few questions, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'd like to start by saying that she said that they must have all their permanent dentition, first of all. And then the other, so I'd like that being noted. And then also, you were the one that changed my notes, so isn't it true that you changed my notes, Andrea?
One more time. Sorry, I can't hear.
Isn't it true that you, Andrea Barbano, was the one that changed the chart notes?
Yes, I've already said that.
Ms. Barbano, did you change the treatment notes, or did you change simply the indication of whether it was a child or an adult?
I just took CH out of the note. Because that's all I did.
How did you take the CH out?
Just took it out. Took the CH out of it. That's it.
Is there a strike through the CH, or was it taken out?
I just took it out.
Okay. Is there any?
I did know. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not lying. I had been honest and telling him the truth.
Okay.
It's,
Okay. Mr.
I'm
Knemeyer?
trying to do what I thought was the right thing.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Barbano, thank you. I'm sorry to pull you out from your duties, but you're excused. Thank you.
Do you need Dr. Perry now?
Yes, he should really come back.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, this
Was in jeopardy. You heard the text.
if they have a closing statement they'd like to make, and I've asked them to be brief. Mr. Knemeyer, do you have a closing statement?
Yes, I just wanted to just say my license was in jeopardy. You heard the testimony. Now you know the truth, and that's all I have to say, Your Honor, and I thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Perry, do you have a closing statement you'd like to make?
I'd just like to say that the office acted correctly, that no illegal activity took place, and that we would never allow illegal activity regardless of what this employee says about us or myself. And thank you very much.
Okay. Dr. Perry, I don't know if you were present when Andrea Barbano